Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Curtain Steel in Supreme Rural Ultimate. In previous episode we managed to advance a decent bit in Brazil and brought in a bit more troops. We still got quite a bit of infantry moving up north and all that sort of stuff. The reason why I did say that I wanted to clear out all of this before the next episode, but I think the Cuban Missile Crisis is starting to sort of flare up a little bit in here. So the American holdings Cuba have been frozen, and then all Cuban assets in the US have been broken diplomatic ties, and imposed a full economic embargo on the island nation. I'm going to support Cuba, I think. I'm assuming that that's how it goes there. I actually wonder, can I get any deals with you? Doesn't really look like it. So I guess there's that. Right, I'm just going to put an OK on that one. Just to be sure, I want to support Cuba, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want to antagonize USA too much. We've got a lot of troops over here ready to start pushing into Peru, which is probably something that we'll start doing pretty much immediately in here. Clear out that one. I don't know how strong their military is going to be, but I'm giving the orders to move in there. I've still got a little bit clearing to do over here in Brazil, just to clear out these areas, but shouldn't be too difficult. I actually wonder, okay, there is a little bit of supplies in there, so if I pull back just a little bit, that one's kind of low on supplies as well. So pull that one into the city. And then we should be able to clear out these. I think there's combat going on in Peru now. Oh yeah, there was a plane in there. There isn't any more. Wait, is that? That's only 6 of them. Okay, so we are missing 1. Oh, we've got a few extras in here, so that's good. At least. And these can probably keep on pushing forward. We've got some AA units over here as well as artillery, which we'll definitely bring in alongside with us. That's a Mexican unit in there, okay. Interesting enough. But we can probably clear out those fairly quickly. I'm just still going to be focusing a little bit down here just to make sure that we clear out all of this pocket. Although it should be fairly easy to take care of. And then I suppose what we can do, we can start sending more troops on the east coast of Brazil, and we can hopefully attack Sao Paulo today. And if we could clear out all of that, I mean, I don't think we'll be able to clear out quite all of that. It's going to be a lot of troops, and we will be taking some casualties. We've got a lot of infantry moving in, so we can utilize a lot of those. We've got a bit of extra troops still in here, but not quite as much as they used to be. Actually, there's a lot of anti-tank units in this stack, that's for sure. Probably quite a bit of artillery as well. I'll need to deal with that eventually. Also got a decent bit of stacks over here still, mostly artillery, a bit of infantry, and a few tanks. But yeah, the attack in Peru is going fairly neatly for the time being. Bringing some of the AA units closer. We could maybe send some of these tanks to start moving towards the enemy base here. If we capture that sooner rather than later, that'd be really nice. We are... okay, we did clear out those. Let's send in these to capture the hydro plants themselves, and these could be sent already towards the next front. Well, not necessarily towards the next front quite yet, but slowly but surely start moving towards the area where it's required. There seems to be some sort of unit stuck over there, so what I suppose I could do actually is send the artillery down here. They can destroy whatever unit is there, and then that is going to flip sides. And looks like there is some Argentinian units moving through here. Not massive, but it is enough to at least give us a bit of support on our attacks. I'm probably not going to be attacking this area yet. I think we're going to focus down Sao Paulo first, because that's going to be a massive region to take over, and at the same time it might start reducing the military approval rating quite drastically. Right, so the reinforcements are on their way. Artillery still hasn't arrived there, and then I suppose these could be start moving towards the road over here. I mean, we'll probably leave at least one of these groups as a bit of support here, so eventually we'll be able to attack, but I think the rest of them are going to be pushed towards Sao Paulo, simply because we need a lot of troops in there if we want to capture it. In the meanwhile, while those are moving, we should probably advance in Peru. We've got the artillery support that we can bring in here. We've got another set of tanks over here. Technically speaking, we could be brought there. Bring the artillery support closer. There is planes in here, and there we go. With the rocket artillery, or the sort of rocket AA rather, We can shoot down the enemy planes in here. Not that there's a lot of the enemy planes anyway, but, you know, if we can take care of them sooner rather than later, the better. Ooh, actually, if we go through there, that's going to trigger the enemy base. I'm just going to attack with these three. We got the artillery support, so I don't think that these are going to be lasting all that long. Even though there are 7 of the garrisons there. Make that 5. Or 4. And 3, 2, 1. And there we go, we cleared out the base. We'll have one of these, actually probably this one. It's gonna rest in the city itself. We can bring in the artillery closer to attack into the harbor next. We'll give them a few moments to settle down. And then we will start advancing. There's only 5 garrisons in there, and if we capture that, that's going to be another port that they won't control, so that means that more of the supplies on the sea zones over here is going to flip to Argentina, which of course is what we prefer to happen, seeing that Argentina is part of our Warsaw Pact, whereas a lot of the other nations are not. Primarily Peru in this front, I suppose, but yeah, we've got some more infantry that could be moved up from here, and we got the artillery. Let's move these forward. Especially if we can bring in some more artillery to attack into Puno, that'd be nice. Oh, it would appear that we've been trading a bit too much consumer goods recently. I mean, there's been a lot of trade deals going on, which we've been renewing and renewing, but now we've also been trading a lot of them away already, so that kind of makes it to be the way it is. Do we have any more? I suppose we don't have a lot of recon units in here yet, but we can take a couple of these units, bring into the forest there, and hopefully we can spot the enemy there. And that way we can, well, I suppose technically speaking, what I could just do is I could give orders for you to bombard over there. I don't know if it will, oh, they might destroy the unit there. Maybe. We don't know if there is someone there right now. I mean, well, we know that there was someone in there. I don't know if there's still someone in there. But that remains to be seen. As soon as the area switch hands, then we kind of know that there's no one in there anymore. Bring in some more troops over here. So with those units, I think we can then start clearing out the suburbs of Sao Paulo. I mean, we'll probably want to get some of these further away ones first, and then we can maybe start pushing into like the northern area here, and then from there we can snake our way down and slowly but surely destroy some of the garrisons. I mean, over here we could also clear out some of these, but it's just going to be very difficult to clear most of them, because if we want to attack them, we need to attack multiple places at once. So at least this area is something that we'll want to clear out first, after these of course. And then maybe go into the north a little bit. But yeah, this is going to be tricky, and I'm prepared to lose some troops in here if need be. Although of course, I hope that I don't need to lose anything, but it's pretty much inevitable, I think. Full bombarding over there, no sign of the, well, scouts are slowly moving forward, but they're not very quick, mind you. Alright, so those could move forward. We got the artillery in here. Got some artillery over there. Right, what I think I'll do is I'll send some of these tanks to go around. They will probably gather up a little bit of the fire. And then we can send in the infantry already moving towards the city, and then those you could go around still further. We'll bring in our artillery within reach of the place. And then the tanks can probably start moving in right about now, so they'll arrive there shortly before the infantry does. If we attack from more than 2 sides, then we'll have a pretty good advantage over them. Usually because we have so much more troops firing in there. And then of course we got the artillery support. Now the enemy artillery is already done for. Ceasefire signed between North Vietnam and French Guiana. Oh, that's actually quite nice. And one by one these are falling. We'll send the tanks in already. We can move these closer. We can bring in some artillery within reach. We'll move the infantry to the side a little bit. Give them a bit of artillery support. Move some of this infantry further up ahead, and then these tanks can move along. We'll probably want to leave some units in the port there right now, just if, in case Americans or someone land some troops there. Which of course isn't guaranteed to happen, but it can happen. There is a tank, or is that? No, that is an artillery piece, not anti-tank gun. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and bring in some of our artillery closer. That should certainly help. Actually, you were going there as well, so I'm just going to send you... You know what, you can go to the side then. Just so that we don't have multiple troops going to the same location. Because that tends to cause some issues. Bring the artillery closer, and then these two tank groups can probably start attacking over here. Uliaka. And yeah, that's pretty good damage dealt there from the get-go. Don't think we actually have the artillery range quite yet to support this. But I think we got the troop concentration regardless, so we can just capture our Aqueba. There we go, we can push these in. We captured that. There are some enemy units stuck over here by the looks of it. And did the... Okay, that has actually done its job, so we can bring in the artillery over here once more. That's great. And we've brought in a lot of troops in here, including a lot of infantry. Alright, so this is something that I'll need to sort out real quick. I mean, you know what? So technically speaking, what I could do is I could gather up some of these infantry groups into one massive stack again. One stack over there. Bit of tanks. But like, we can start gathering up the troops to start assaulting in here. And if we bring in 14 infantry to one of these, maybe not the... we'll need to clear out some of the areas around. Like, maybe we could use the infantry. This is a jungle still. So from here to attack there, we can clear out the garrison there with the infantry most likely, for example. And then we can use the tanks to clear out more of this area. And then once we clear out both of these, we can move in here with the infantry and clear out that one. And basically just one at a time clear out the areas here. It's going to take a while to do everything, but it can be done. That's a full 7. There's going to be another full 7 over here. Don't actually... There's a lot of infantry moving through. There's another infantry group in here. So we'll have some reserves for sure. It will... Again, the infantry doesn't move very quickly, so that is going to slow us down a decent chunk. But we'll have the artillery support. Don't think there's a lot of airfields around here. I mean, there's actually an airbase over there, so there might be some planes from the enemy. I don't think they'll be particularly good planes, mind you, but there is going to be some of them. We've got some guidelines over here. We could probably bring these closer to the front line. There's already 5 tanks there. We can probably bring these in somewhere over here, and these two could be moved over there as well. That's going to be the full group. The supply and the artillery groups are moving through. There's 40 infantry there. We might actually take ahead and... or take 7 infantry that we have stockpiled in here and entrench them in that group as well. So it's going to be 21 of them. That's going to be quite a strong... well, I wouldn't say necessarily spearhead, but kind of a group regardless to push through the enemy lines. We might actually need a bit more of the... Well, not necessarily need, but we might have some more infantry around here. We've got the tanks over here that could be moved further north. Right, and I believe we should have... Yeah, we've got our transports over here. I decided to take these away from the reserve just so that I can bring them in here and start supplying some of these submarines because they are having a bit of problems. I'm going to unload some more troops in here because they got stuck in the Mediterranean again at some point. Oh, that was 2 groups on top of one another again. Well, bollocks. But I think we are just about ready to start moving in again. Oh no! There's an enemy recon unit. It won't get through. But it's an actual unit that they're moving about, not just garrisons. Oh, and those are now moving forward. Let's go ahead and bring these closer. Let's bring in the artillery closer, or within reach of that location as well. This could maybe move a little bit north of the road. I mean, we've got some artillery support over here as well. Do we have any... I suppose we could take one of the infantry stacks over here and just park it on the bridge there. That's going to cover some of the flank there. And then we can probably have one of these stacks to be over there. The other one can start moving in here to help on assaulting the next town. Let's just go ahead and take these 2 forward. We got the artillery almost in place. I think it might be time to start moving these forward. It's going to be 5 garrisons, but with 14 tanks we should still be able to do a lot of damage. We'll take some damage ourselves, but I think we can manage that. We got some extras in here regardless, and we can start moving in the infantry group forward. We'll use that once we capture this. We'll use the infantry to go through there and slowly start clearing out some of the coastal stuff, in which we can probably bring in the artillery already within reach of that. And then over here, I think it might be time bring in the troops within... Oh, did we actually get bombarded there? No, I don't think we did. Got artillery in there. Oh, right, it was the artillery shooting in the garrison, wasn't it? At least I think it was. John F. Kennedy inaugurated 35th President of the United States. Alright. Well, I have a feeling that there might be a missile crisis. Bound to happen soon. Or soon enough. Right, so we got pushed around again by the Argentinian artillery. Lovely. Well, let's just bring in our infantry over here. Get within reach. There's a few more units moving through. Did we get our artillery? It is almost in place. Let's move these forward. You can stay there. We can probably get at least... Well, if you move to the north, then these two can push north as well. We can capture that. And then I suppose we can bring the artillery into the city. That's sort of covering our flank over here. These two can start pushing into northwards, and that can start pushing north. The infantry is slowly moving in here. So the tanks are mostly going to be taking the northern side, and the infantry is going to take the areas next to the coastline. Let's bring in the AA units closer, and then we've got this stack over here. We're going to entrench them in the town. These could be entrenched closer. There's an Argentinian plane approaching. Right, how are we doing in Peru in the meanwhile? We haven't really been advancing too much there, but we can easily take that one. Push a bit across there, so we can cut off the reinforcements coming in. There's some Ecuadorian units over there. We'll bring in the artillery closer, that's for sure. So overall, the situation isn't too bad. We could probably advance further, but over here there's not going to be supplies, so we'll have to shuffle our main focus from this area to the north, I think. Push through here to Cusco. And then we could probably go ahead and clear out those two, and then also start pushing in here, and one by one we'll capture these. We'll probably push in through here slowly, but we can probably get up to here before we run out of supplies. That's going to be a bit of a problem. So we'll probably just need to advance from the north instead. Right, you can probably start attacking in... If we attack there... If we attack from the city, we should be able to take relatively low damage overall. And I suppose we could also advance into these two and clear out most of that. You know what, I'm going to take the artillery in here. We could probably capture that city over here with some help of the artillery, and we don't actually have any artillery in here, do we? Oh wait, no, we got this artillery in here, so we should actually take that one, bring it on the road. We're taking a bit of damage here, not too bad yet. That one's taking a bit too much damage actually. So we'll bring that one in. We can send these, entrench on the coastline jungles there, or coastal jungles there, and then we can maybe switch around one of these groups for a fresh one. And hopefully that will make the difference in this combat. That's one down. There's only 2 garrisons remaining and the AA gun there, and now it's only the AA gun. That went rather well. So I guess what we'll do is we'll have these two push forward. We've got the artillery in here supporting the northern flank already, so that's good. We could probably bring in the artillery already into the cities, and the infantry has arrived into the combat zone here. And we're actually doing pretty good damage on the enemies here. Did we... That's 6 troop or units there. We've got some troops over here that we could probably switch around. But yeah, the next target is probably going to be that one. With some tanks here. We could move these into this area, and West Germany is still buying some... Oh, they're buying a lot of it consumer goods. I suppose we've got just enough for that. I mean, we've basically run out of consumer goods, to be fair. But that is admittedly a bit of a problem. Right, these two are going to attack further northwest, and the artillery support is making pretty easy work over here. North Vietnam and Equatorial Africa have reached a ceasefire. So how many wars is North Vietnam still fighting for? Including France, New Caledonia, Polynesia, and something else. I'm not entirely sure what that something else is, but remains to be seen. And these did get their independence from France. Oh, does France still have colonies? No, they do not. Well, alright then. But yeah, the advances over here are going rather nicely. We could move in there with a unit. Valenhouse is going to be one of the targets, and then we've got 7 units over here. Bring them closer. How is our treaty integrity is down to 72% again, because we've had some trade deals that we had to cancel due to not having the resources for them. These closer, we got the artillery. Ooh, running a little bit low on supplies here. What we'll do is I'm going to switch these around. Clear that one, and then these two can start pushing forward. That one's already been captured. Bringing the artillery behind there. And I think these tanks can be pushed towards Sao Paulo again. Now that we've sort of covered the flank in here for the time being. Plus we got the artillery support in there. We could move in another unit over here. Now that we cleared out that one, go ahead and move in the infantry in here. A little bit inland, so we can fight just one garrison at a time. They might be sending some troops through here. There is a combat engineer. But luckily we got pretty decent... oh, it's probably moving through there, so it's going to get destroyed in Valley Hills. At least very much damaged. Well, we didn't even damage it all that much. Question is, where is it going now? Let's actually go ahead and bring in the artillery closer. And the combat between the infantry is actually going just fine. And once we clear out that, we can get into the coastal town here once again. And entrench in there, so we can get... oh, destroy the garrisons in the hydro plants here. And then, that's... oh, actually, before we get pushed out, we can just push in there, I suppose. We've got a few more tanks over here that we could probably move into the more central location. And then I'm just going to move these two down south. We captured that one, which is quite nice. And those garrisons are not going to last all that long. The next place, once we destroy the garrison there, we could move into the city here, destroy the garrison there, and then move in here, destroy the garrison there. And then I'm not entirely sure. We could technically go in there to destroy the garrison in Santos, but that might not work quite as intended. Let's see if that actually works. In theory, it should. In practice, it might not. There we go. We destroy it. Another one. We can bring in our artillery closer. Because what I could do is I could store up some of the tanks over here, just so that we'll capture the hydro plant, and they won't be able to just advance towards our artillery, but the artillery is going to be within range of most of that. Now, okay, so we didn't actually capture the hydro plant, but at least we got some troops covering the flank in there. Yeah, we can sell some petroleum and agriculture. That is fine by me. There's another tank over here that would probably switch around and then start attacking further. We did clear out the garrison in here. Let's get into the city. There we go, that garrison is being dealt with. Let's just take this tank group there and advance further. One of these over there again. Maybe it will help, maybe it won't. How's the infantry doing? We haven't taken much damage, but I suppose we've got such a massive amount of damage output that we have in here with these infantries that it's not really a problem. At least for the most part. In which case we could probably bring in some of the troops in here already. Guard sort of the entryway. And S7 units there right now. We'll have to move probably one of these back a little bit and send someone else in. We've destroyed the garrison there, we destroyed the garrison here, so Shundiai is going to be probably our next target then, in this sector. We might have to bring in more artillery in here. And we've still got a lot of infantry waiting here as well. But the infantry hasn't really taken much damage, is the thing. So, okay, there's one that has taken some damage. We'll move that one out of the group. And we'll move these out, move in this other group in. Now that we did some damage with those, they can probably earn a little bit of rest, or they've earned a little bit of rest, and we can send in some replacements in there. There we go, we destroyed the garrison there. What would be the next one? Wait, yeah, you're still sitting in there. It's just the one that went to repair, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Technically speaking, we can move these into Ep50. And then these... I'm pretty sure that I'm butchering these pronunciations, just by the way, but regardless, let's just keep on going. The more fighting we do now, the less we need to do later. And with the infantry coming into the combat there, we got these infantry stacks. What I'm going to do with them, I'm probably just going to send them into Bernardo de Campo. Okay, so we've got a bit of troops over here that do need to retreat. We've got some replacement units remaining, although not a lot. We've been taking quite heavy casualties in here, in these combats. I'm gonna retreat these into the city, and these can then attack. How we got on? Well, we got another infantry over here that could maybe pull back. The Sao Paulo is slowly falling. And then we can just push through these slowly but surely. I mean, yeah, it'll take some time. But we will be dealing a lot of damage, that's for sure. Is there units that are damaged in here? Not too badly, actually. Most of them, anyway. That one might be one of the areas where we could replace another one. So these could push forward. We've already cleared out the garrisons in here. And we can just take these into Sao Paulo itself. It's going to be a double garrison in there. So we can move in these forward and start clearing out a lot of the enemies in the surrounding areas. And we're getting the extra infantry over here south of Sao Paulo, which are going to have to fight 2 locations at once as well. Although there's only 4 of the infantry there right now, so it's... I don't think we'll be losing anyone in there. Or like any full units, but I'll be taking some casualties. Although they are fighting in a city, so they don't take that much damage in there. Oh, what's that? Oh, we got the supply depots completed and... Portuguese Angola. Alright. So there might be a revolution in Angola at some point. Really nice. So Congo has already got an independence. I think a large chunk of the African nations actually are independent by now. Not all of them. And a lot of them are still part of the NATO regardless, but at least in South America we're doing pretty good in terms of expanding our influence. And looks like the infantry over here, yeah, still doing fine. Getting more and more troops into this stack as well, so Santos is going to fall fairly soon, I reckon. Let's go ahead and take these tanks into the stack over there. The infantry are going to be a sort of separate stack in here. Did we have a barracks here somewhere? I don't see one of them. There might be one. Oh, that's more tanks, so we can bring those forward. There we go. We'll destroy the garrisons in all around Sao Paulo and in Santos. I suppose what we're going to do is we're just going to take both of these stacks and push forward. If we can clear out the garrisons there, we can probably move in these tanks onto the road. There is the military base in there, which we'll probably need to bring some artillery to clear that, and there's going to be some planes as well. We'll bring in our AA closer, and those can push forward. These can push in here. Is there... They don't have any garrison or any artillery in the garrisons there. Or I suppose they wouldn't be part of the garrison, but still just sitting in there. Oh, did we manage to get the... Okay, we have increased the industrial goods production a little bit again. What I suppose I could do is I could expand it even further, because we don't have that much massive buffer yet. So we'll just build one more. And then we could probably build another consumer goods factory. In the meanwhile, we've gotten a little bit... Well, actually, we've got the troops in position here, but I think we won't be attacking through there quite yet. I think I want to focus down the Sao Paulo, although we're basically done in there, actually. We just entrench these forward, and we should be capturing both of these. And then it's just going to be the military base to the northeast of the town, and then the road into Rio de Janeiro, which is going to take some time and effort to get through, but we managed to drop the military approval rating to below 70%, which is already pretty good. I mean, it's not enough to make them surrender, I don't think. But unfortunately, we are out of time for this episode, so we won't be seeing Brazil surrender quite yet. But if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, bye-bye.